Good morning. This is Apostle William D. McGee Jr. here at Fanatic Central 101 here in San Antonio, Texas. And yes, it's been a little bit. Today is June 5th, 2017. The year of 2017. And a whole lot has gone on since I last spoke. Many attacks into London and to Manchester and all those things going on. And the news is having a field day, as they always do when incidents of this nature and this magnitude happens. Also, our illustrious number 45 is still doing his same thing. And I think when I closed last time, I was talking a little about media. I'm really not going to get off of media's back because I want to tell you about fake news. Now, Donald, he keeps throwing that out, fake news, Donald Trump. And the news people, they get quite upset. But here's the thing. Before I start. Barahim Habayim. Mashlom ha, mashlom me. Assalamu alaikum. Mehaba. Bonjour, buongiorno, guten Morgen, ni mi hao, kam samida. And what's up to the rest of the world that can understand me in English? Let's go where no man has gone before, or where no other fanatics. We go there. But news, media, fake news, as Donald Trump keeps saying, will refuse to go. Let me tell you something. All news, whether it's local, whether it's national, have limitations. There are certain areas that they refuse to go to. There are certain areas that they refuse to go into. Now, they claim in your local area that they're running around trying to run down the bad guy. They go and have their investigative reporters out there. Here on Channel 12, they call them the defenders. They go and defend the people. Well, guess what? That's all good. But what about the other? On the federal level and on the state level? See, there's some areas even on the local level they refuse to go in because their lives are at stake. Now, fanatics, their lives are always at stake. Our lives are always at stake because we choose to tell you the truth about what we're looking at, or whatever God has us to look at. And that is a danger and a threat to those running the show. See, the show doesn't just start in Washington. The show doesn't just continue on to the governor level in Austin, but it even goes on in the mayor levels as well as those city district councilmen. You see, to be a politician, you've got to be a great liar and a great salesman. You tell the people that you're there for them, but really you're not really being there. You're trying to get into this new group that sits behind the scenes and pretend to take care of the people. They pretend to take care of the people. The same thing applies as a governor, because once you be a mayor, then you get the basic concept of how and where the money is coming from and how it is used and being spent. More on particular corporations, more on particular other agencies, and less on the people. Now, the song that OJ said, you got to give the people what they want. Well, yeah, they do. You give the people what they want. What is it that they want? They want a basketball team. They want a football team. They want more leisure parks, bicycle lanes, baseball parks for the children, more this and more this, while all the same time they're losing out on their basic, essential things like safety, like fighting crime and having a crime-free environment. Because even crime has its advantages in a city. Yes, we know about the bail bondsman. Because crime, without the bail bondsman, those that are getting charged with some type of crime, they need to have some access to some quick money to bring themselves out and pay themselves and put themselves out on bond. So, in a sense, crime and bail bondsmen go hand in hand. The more crime you got, the more bail bondsmen you have. Right? See what I'm saying? Cost and effect, or supply and demand. Now, also, crime also plays a major role in infrastructure of cities. Versus, based on where crime is, will determine where most people live. Okay? Now, if crime is only in one part of the town, then most of your people are going to be in another side or try to get away from the crime-stricken area. But if crime is allowed, or in all sections of the city, then nobody actually is able to get away from the crime, because the crime comes in all manner of things. It's not just murders. You have sex trafficking, you have drugs, you have all these different things. And the city manager and the mayor and the Bexar County and SAPD all know where these major crime areas are. Just not here in San Antonio, but I'm quite sure in Austin. And even the federal government knows how to utilize crime to gain more money. See, this is the things that our news networks, they refuse to go into that area when it's talking about crime. When it's talking about all kinds of crime, not just murders. We're talking about rapes and all these, and sexual predators. That's why they're on a database. They're on the database so that they can be monitored to know exactly where they are in every part of the city. But it's still, that has an advantage to those who are the planners, managers, that foresee the safety and the welfare of any particular city, or any particular state, or any particular county, or any particular parish. It plays a part in how much law enforcement do we get for the crime that we have. Is the crime offsetting, or has a demand for law enforcement? How much law enforcement do we need to handle the crime? Now, if crime is running amok, then you're going to need a whole bunch of law enforcement. And that's going to be costly. How much of the budget do we spend on protecting our citizens? How much do we take from leisure? How much do we do? That's why it comes out in the ad, says, we need somebody to help us tell us what the people want. Now, the people has been telling you what they want. And see, there is a difference between wanting and needing. We already know that. And we need flood control. We need new highways. We need new roads. We need sidewalks. We need the strays, cats and dogs, that are running loose in San Antonio, picked up and put somewhere. Because we need those pet owners that are supposed to be pet owners to be told that you need to have your dog on a leash. Your cat needs to be on your property, not wandering around on somebody else's property. See, these are the needs that we need to happen. We need more mental facilities to help those that are suffering from mental illness. We need more to that. We need more than just campaigning out there saying that mental illness is this, or mental illness is that. And we get paid to say, oh, you know what? We're taking the stigma out of mental illness. Well, guess what? Let me tell you something. There's a whole lot of mental illness. Some people call me mentally ill as a fanatic, one central one of them. Who would talk about things that can cost you to lose your life? But who would live in a world that is controlled utilizing mind control from the age 5 until you're in the college and then in universities? All those things are controlled environments. And it keeps you away from knowing the truth. While other nations speak more than one language, and they look for opportunities outside their boundaries. They look at a bigger picture than the American people ever looked at. I'm going to talk about the American people today. Like I said, media plays a hand in that. All that is part of the ones that are controlling and manipulating the entire global world, called the New World Economic Order. Did you hear what I said? The New World Economic Order. In Washington, D.C., we know about the executive branch, we know about the legislative branch, and we know about the judicial branch. But what about all the other hidden branches that are going on? All these other things, like the Federal Reserve, and we have all these little offshoots and all these different gangs, political gangs that are up there. Lobbyists. Lobbyists have more power than the people, because the lobbyists work for the corporations that are sending their contributions to these senators and these congressmen and certain people so that they can get their way. But while the American people out there protesting, marching, saying, we need this to happen. But if they don't bring any type of tributes, if they don't become lobbyists themselves, they might as well keep on protesting. They might as well keep on holding their signs up. They might as well keep on doing all that, because they are not listening to you. You don't matter. What matters is moolah, dinero, dollars, bling. All that matters. If you ain't got none of that, if you ain't got nothing to offer to your congressman or those senators in the GOP, Grand Old Party, or any of the other ones, because see, this is the game that they're in. This is why they spend all their lives to get into the system, and once they get into the system wants to know one thing from them. What Donald Trump was asking Comey. Where does your loyalty lie? Does it lie with the people? Or does it lie with me? Or can I trust you to keep the secret? Whatever the secret is. See, that's the thing when you become a politician. When you become a senator or a congressman or whatever. See, when you go into there, you're thinking like, I'm going to help the people. I'm going to save the people. Well, guess what? You're not going to save the people. You're entering a whole new realm. You thought that the Godfathers of the Mafia was bad. Well, guess what? You just stepped into the biggest one. And it's many of them. Many of them. And you're going to have, you're talking about deception, cloak and dagger, and who's what, and who's this, and who's that. That is what you got going on in Washington. That's what you got going on in any of the 10 regions that are being formed, their leadership. And terrorism is one area that they can use to control the masses or mess up the masses. Where terrorism generates buku money. Beaucoup money, as the French say. Beaucoup money. All enough. Gotta go. The time is up.